Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another
Hey.
episode of What Are You?
Welcome.
Look at us. Aja, how you doing?
I'm tired. I haven't had coffee yet this morning and I'm tired. I need my coffee. What about you, Ray?
I'm doing well. This is definitely my hardest week of the semester, and after that, it's all downhill from here, which I'm super excited for. Have I gotten enough sleep? I will, but not right now. Definitely, I'm just putting the pedal to the metal. I'm finishing up all the things, and yeah, just doing all those stuff. So today we have a lot of different topics to talk about. Definitely two major anniversaries to talk about is one,
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. It's been legit 1 year. It's kind of crazy thinking about that. And that case alone is kind of like out of sorts right now, which is like bananas to me. Where like the charges were dropped for her boyfriend who had shot, and that was the whole like criminal reason why the police had like jumped in there because and so if those charges were dropped, then there was literally and so we can go on for this, but we do want to kind of recognize that anniversary as well.
Yeah.
In addition to that, this is yesterday, March 15th, marks the 1 year anniversary of us being in lockdown.
Huh.
Ooh. And so, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I've been seeing a few TikToks of people showing like, oh, like, we're just going to come back in 2 weeks. And da, 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 da. And so happy 1 year anniversary of the 2 week lockdown we were supposed to have. Wow. It's just a lot of craziness from
The world is crazy. Yeah.
from the Tiger Kings to the trends to
The silhouette challenge.
the silhouette challenge, the just like the conversation behind social distancing. I think that was like a novice term back then a year ago, and now it's like a household thing. So it's kind of crazy. And as we mentioned last week, this is just the closing end of the tunnel. Please make sure that you are staying safe.
Wearing a damn mask.
Doing all the things that you
Looking
need to
at you.
do.
Wear a damn mask.
Do all the things that you need to do in order for us to go back from this 2 week lockdown that we've been having for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the good, and then let's talk about the bad stuff. Let's talk about the good, which was the Grammys and the Oscars nominations as well, because that came out yesterday as well. But the Grammys.
Oh, I didn't see those.
Yes, the Oscar nominations were pretty good. I think there's one gripe that I'll throw out there, and I hope people aren't going to be mad about it. For the best animated film, there's one animated film that I really wanted to be on the Oscar list because not only did it break records in Japan, but it also broke records globally except for America. Now you may be asking, like, why didn't it come to America? It had a lot of issues with like voice acting and like just getting everything ready for the English translation, but it couldn't do that. So they kept it.
Which movie is this?
This is the Demon Slayer movie. So like the whole thing was that they broke records. They beat the Titanic, Infinity War, Spirited Away, which is like the #1 movie in Japan, which is great, right?
Yes.
Then they did a 1-day showing in Miami in order to have it in contention for like consideration of a nomination for best animated film of that year. It didn't get one dang nomination, and that broke my dang heart because I was just like so frustrated, and I was like,
that animation is incredible. Okay, it's
wait. hold on. For everyone who hasn't seen it, please see it. We're not going to talk about the movie because I haven't seen it, and I don't know if you have.
I'm just going to talk about the series. I'll just talk about the series.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Okay,
Yes.
it's a newer generation anime,
Mm-hmm.
and the art style in it is beautiful. The plot is awesome. It's one of those animes where it's like you are so excited to see where it goes. And those of you who read the manga and all those things, I know that you want to spoil things. However, for a 26 episode anime that's come out so far is what's readily available to most people, it's incredible.
Yes.
Just gonna
And,
say that.
you know, I'm slowly getting frustrated with the lack of respect that like anime movies get when transitioning to like featured films and like their consideration into the Oscars, because they do deserve respect. And like if the movie is amazing, the movie should just be amazing. It shouldn't just be like, oh well, this is just from cartoon.
Yeah.
Because I think the one thing that like punched me in the gut was that Shaun the Sheep-a-geddon or whatever got a nomination, and it's like a stop motion film. It's fine.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah.
Like Wallace and Gromit. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
So like now you're starting to.
Wow.
So those who are like, oh, I've seen Demon Slayer before. Imagine like getting beat by Shaun the Sheep when it comes to that kind of, you know. And so it's that kind of frustration. And
Wow.
we've seen this before where like an animation of like that caliber has gotten an award with Spirited Away 2003. So it can happen. I'm really mad that it didn't happen this year, but you know, we press on. I'm really excited that Stephen Yeun got a nomination as well. Like, props to him. He's one of my favorite actors. I'm really excited. And so yeah, I'm very excited to see how the Oscars are going to go, and if there is going to be any diversity that's going to be sprinkled about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really excited for it. But moving on to what happened this past weekend, which was the Grammys. Obviously, it was social distance. Trevor Noah was hosting it. There's a lot of fire just because of two main things on my part. One, The Weeknd really did get snubbed. He didn't get one nomination, and I think he had a lot of good songs, and I was like really like, okay. Two, I think, and maybe this is just me, maybe this is just like me being paranoid, and this is going to give me a lot of hate, so I apologize in advance. But
all right.
I don't care. Like I kind of jumped off the whole Taylor Swift like wagon bus or whatever. I knew that she had won a lot of awards, and I think, I don't know, maybe I got the vibe. Some people didn't, but having one of the top tier female artists break records of having the most Grammys ever by a female artist, not be the top billing of the Grammys, hurts a little. Like I think that. So the whole thing on Twitter was like, you know, Taylor Swift wins best album. Taylor Swift wins best album. Yay, folklore, blah blah blah. You know, but Beyonce that night not only tied the record for most Grammys by a female artist, she broke the record later on that night, and it just wasn't the top article. It maybe like it was just like the algorithm I got on my phone or the news that I see on a daily basis, but I could not have cared less about folklore because I haven't listened to her album since like 22, like that album, you know what I mean? And so I would had wished there had been more respect for Beyonce. Or performance or something, you know, something. I'm really happy that Megan Thee Stallion got like newest artist. I'm really excited for that. I'm super happy that Bad Bunny got Latin pop artist for the year.
And that it wasn't J-Lo or Daddy Yankee or something.
Well, no, you know what? I think like I think Bad Bunny does deserve the respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, he
like
does. No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm
yeah.
just saying like the typical go-to would be like J-Lo or Daddy Yankee, or
Oh
which
yeah.
Daddy
No.
Yankee deserves all the praise that he gets. But I'm saying like
Oh
we
no.
love
So Bad Bunny,
accepting
baby, you know.
androgynous kings.
Yeah, super excited for him. Um, I don't know. I don't know if the baby got anything. I know.
He shouldn't.
I'm trying to think. I don't think he got a nomination. I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't
He
know.
shouldn't.
Dua
So that's
Lipa
good.
got an award, which I was really excited about.
Yo, her stylist never misses. Her stylist is bomb. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. She always looks good.
but yes. What was your? You were gonna say something about the Grammys and how you felt.
Okay, so in terms of the performances, I only watched Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallion's.
Oh,
That's who
no.
I like. That's who I like. I don't have cable, so I don't even know who performed or anything, you know?
Okay.
You know this. I don't have a TV. I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV for years. God. I only have streaming services. Anywho, I watched them on YouTube.
Hmm.
And Megan's performance was so good. The whole aesthetic of it, I loved it. But she did this Savage song, and they could have had Beyonce for that. They
And
could have brought Beyonce in, and Beyonce was there, and they
there.
didn't bring Beyonce.
And I don't think that was a
The,
choice on Megan's part. I think it was the choice of the recording academy of just being like, oh, just be there, be seen, but not recognized. Which is like, again, that kind of like tops into the whole conversation that I've had with like people
yeah,
not giving, like, I don't know, maybe it's like this vibe of this energy for me, but like I don't feel as though the Grammys gave Beyonce the respect that she deserved
yes.
and put Taylor Swift over. And look, again, I'm not bashing Taylor Swift. I'm just saying she has won Album of the Year. Beyonce is the first female to break the female record, so I feel like that should be recognized a little bit more. But I don't know, maybe like the top billing for the Grammys is Album of the Year, and it's like it's there, and it's not the third, so you have to push that more than other things. But it's
Like
just
we,
I don't know.
yeah.
What?
I mean,
And
Carrie
like,
was saying like Beyonce is expensive. Yes, I'm well aware, but to have her be there and just not recognized like that was so disappointing to see.
yeah, and that's what's crazy because I think and props to Trevor Nova because he stopped Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion from like walking down the stairs, and he was like, hey, hold on, everyone, like we kind of have to give the respect for Beyonce because she ties the record now for most Grammys by a female artist, and everyone was like clapping and applauding, and I think he did that with his own volition, which is great
Oh
because
yeah.
and then later on in the night, like the announcer was like, "Oh wow, we were making history, y'all! Like Beyonce won, and she broke the record." And like that's, I felt like a lot of people were ad-libbing during those points, but then for Taylor Swift, they were like, "Oh, Taylor Swift won," and it's just like I don't know, and
Yeah.
maybe I have to like listen to the album in order to understand it, but it's just like maybe it's not my cup of tea, and so I don't know.
The
I just
Weeknd isn't my cup of tea, so I understand that you feel that he got snubbed and everything. I feel that Megan got snubbed out of the award that Billie Eilish won. Billie Eilish actually used her speech to dedicate it to Megan, saying, like, I thought there was no way they were gonna choose me. Like, you deserve this. Like, I'm so humbled. You know, we see the same situation that Adele had with Beyonce back in 2017 with like Lemonade, and Adele being like, Beyonce, you deserve this. Like, why did I get this? Lemonade broke so many records and it's incredible, and I have so much appreciation for you. So we had the same thing happen between Megan Thee Stallion and Billie Eilish.
yeah,
And there are some colorism dynamics and racist dynamics in there. and dehumanizing, belittling BS that happens within music industry, academia, whatever this academy is called, that is just so frustrating to see, because this isn't the first time that something like this has happened, where a white performer, a white musician, a white recipient of the award is preferred over a BIPOC individual. And it's so frustrating to see over and over and over and over when BIPOC peoples, especially the Black community, foundations of music there. Like, especially popular music, rap, like where blues, jazz, rock, where do you think that you got this from? You got it from us. And we're not recognized in your privileged eyes because you have soaked up and appropriated all the culture that you took from us when you brought us here 400 years ago, you know? I'm like, no, it's so frustrating to me because you see all these big white artists getting all this recognition and all these awards, and they're so great and da 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 da. But then it's like the BIPOC people who were setting the groundwork for those white artists to get those awards are not recognized at all, and they're just pushed to the sidelines. It's so frustrating to see. And then, of course, we have the usual WAP controversy that happened because Cardi B and Megan performed WAP at the Grammys. And oh my God, Fox News had another field day.
Which, like, because I saw that like performance and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is the performance. And like, again,
it's
like
so tame.
Yeah. Like it brought me back to like the 2020. Wow. The 2020 Super Bowl with Jennifer Lopez.
You're talking like it was so long ago. Back in my day in 2020, which was only 8 months ago.
So 2 weeks ago, when the Super Bowl.
Oh, that was only 2 months?
No. It was a year ago. But I'm saying like 2 weeks.
Oh.
It's like we're still in this 2 week week.
No. I'm smart.
I
deserve this higher education.
But I did see that argument of like, oh my gosh, like the Grammys are so like disgusting because this and that and the third. It's like, no, it's disgusting because like we actually have to have this stupid conversation and we have to give awards to
time.
like Taylor Swift and not recognize Beyonce. That's disgusting. That's the caucasity of that like really upset me.
Oh my God, yes.
Just because.
And the capacity of awarding Adele over Beyonce with the visual album that Beyonce. I'm upset.
And look, I feel like this has been the trend for the past few years where we're seeing a lot of artists be like, why aren't we recognizing this person? Or, hey, let me take this time to accept my acceptance speech while also giving it to this person. But I feel like this year in particularly, I had a Kanye moment and I was like, Taylor, I'm gonna let you have your time, but Beyonce should have won. Like Beyonce should have got the recognition that she deserved. And this is coming from an Adele fan. You know, like I love Adele. 100%. I will be blasting those albums left and right.
Yeah, but and I'm not saying that these artists aren't worthy of recognition. Of course.
Yeah, of course they are. I'm just saying that we're missing history before our eyes.
Yeah.
And like Beyonce is like what, 3 Grammys away from like getting like the all-time tying record for most Grammys. And like the most Grammys had been made what, like I want to say 60, 70, 80 years ago. And so like to think about that in perspective, that in the
was it a white man who won?
Oh, 100% it was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like to put this in perspective, it's like this is what's happening, and it's like we just need a few more Grammys for Beyonce, which like it's not even like we're gonna give her those like Grammys. She's gonna earn them from being amazing and doing her own music,
doing what she always does.
I think like hopefully in the next few Grammys that's recognized more.
Like there is a reason that Beyonce is worshipped around the world.
Yeah, but not Taylor Swift. But okay. Moving on. And so the reason why I like talking about the Grammys, especially this time of the month, is because we're in spring break. I'm so happy. Wait, we're not in spring break.
No, they made it like the fall semester, and I hate it here. Okay,
Thank you for listening to our See You Denver podcast.
Can I just go off for a second? Just a second.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it is so frustrating to go through this long semester, have 1 week of a break, and then 1 week, and then it's finals. It is so stressful to go through that. The fall semester is more stressful than the spring semester for me, and I am taking harder classes this semester. And then to have it set up just like the fall semester, I don't get a break anywhere. Like the snow day was my spring break, and that's it.
It was a lot, for sure.
It's so frustrating because people are burnt out. We've been going at this for months, sitting in front of a computer for months, and we're doing more work now, and we just need a break. We just need a good, nice break. And the university was like, nope, to curb traveling, we're going to put it 1 week before week before finals. And it's like, that's not going to curb traveling. People still travel no matter what you're going to do.
If anything, it's going to cause for more traveling that's not safe, yes. which goes into my last segue, which we only have 5 minutes for. But we're going to talk about it because we need to talk about this. I do not think that we've addressed it last week, either here or on the university front. But we need to talk about Boulder. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. So as many of you have heard, there was a huge party in Boulder last weekend, Saturday going up to Sunday, where there was a lot of people there. I think it was like
no
crowds
social
of
distancing.
No social distancing, no mask. Cars being destroyed.
Civilian and police and SWAT.
A lot of people getting injured. And so to put on a mask and to like muffle my ears, you might be thinking, oh, Ray, this might be the BLM riots. No, they were not. These were just CU Boulder children. And guess what treatment they got? Nothing.
Yeah.
And so this is a issue that needs to be addressed with all 4 institutions of Colorado Springs, Denver, Anschutz, and Boulder. Because the main article that I read talking about that was that they were sick of the COVID restrictions and they were wanting to revolt and this, that, and the third. Listen here, young men, young boys who want to party.
Listen here, children throwing a tantrum.
Look, we know you're tired. We've been in this space for a year, and I've understood the frustration of not being able to see your friends as much, for not being able to do activities and not being able to do things. Get over it. Like, shut down Greek Row because it's destructive to your institution. The whole nation has seen this debauchery and the lack of, punishment that's been thrown out. Now, saying this, there has been multiple updates of people showing videos, showing like information, sharing information, and I feel as though that there have been some arrests. If anything, in my opinion, I would arrest every single person who was at that festivity. That's just my opinion, because obviously you do not care about your student body. Obviously you don't care about your institution. Obviously you don't care about the 4 institutions that surround not only the state, but academia as a whole. If you don't care about any of that, go home. Stop wasting your tuition. Stop asking your mom and dad for tuition money. Stop asking your mom and dad for pledge money because you want to be a pledge so you can get networking, so you can talk to different people. And I feel as though the university needs to have this conversation on a professional level in order to minimize any occurrence that this is going to happen again. I know, and look, we talked about this last week. We are on the cusp of going back full in person in the fall. This type stuff is going to prevent everything that we've been working for as a CU Denver community to the trash. Everything's gonna have to restart. Everything's gonna have to like still be social distance and whatever. If you want to see your friends, if you want to go hiking or snowboarding without any like nervousness of wearing a mask or not, address Boulder in a calm manner and tell them that we're not taking this. We're not. And that's a lot, I know. And we will continue this conversation in a little bit. But we're going to have to end it on that. I hope anyone in Boulder is listening to this. And
Has a
know
come to
that,
Jesus moment.
as a come to Jesus moment of
Not even
stop.
believe in Jesus, but come to Jesus, darn it.
just stop acting up.
Yeah.
Continue with your studies. We're there with you when it comes to finishing off this semester, just as much as you are with us, Colorado Springs, and Shoots. And if we have to literally see these messages in this local news and this national news of partying again, we might have to start splitting ties, bro.
Might need to pull out the chancla and go there and
we might have
set
to
some
focus
monkeys
on,
straight.
we might have to send the CU Denver Lynx basketball team to the dance instead of the Sco Buffs, all right? Goodness. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. And so
I was about to say, we have a basketball team? Oops. Of course we do.
So hopefully everyone's staying warm. Hopefully everyone has melted their car away. And so, yeah, I'm happy that we were able to talk about all these topics. But we will talk about more topics.
It's very all over the episode.
Oh, yeah. But, we need those episodes, But we will be talking about that more on the next episode of
What Are You?